everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation, and I'm here with a Country Craft Creations kind of a mini design team project. I was sitting here thinking about using up this paper collection that I had. I have a little bit of scraps and I had a couple pieces of full-size paper. This is Santa's Little Helper, and this is a paper collection that was put out in 2021. It is available at Country Craft Creations at countrycraftcreations.com, and you can see that I have used it and cut it up and done some stuff with it. So I had leftovers here, lots of little bits and pieces, and I wanted to kind of incorporate them into a project. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. But why I'm coming on to show you this is not only to show you the project, which I'll have the final piece of it after this video, because it's super simple and I'm just going to decorate with these scraps. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. But I wanted to show you how I kind of put together the pamphlet binding for this one, because what I'm thinking of doing is tying some things to these strings, and I wanted to show you kind of how I bound this. So basically I just had a few papers left over. Let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 8 papers left over. It's a great collection, and I just wanted to use them to make kind of a pretty little pamphlet kind of journal. You could do it for a recipe book, a small Christmas cookie book, something like that. This would be a really cute gift to give to somebody over the holidays. You could print out like some recipes and put them in here. You could make little pockets, which is kind of some of the things I'm thinking of doing with all these little scraps. And then I do have a sheet of the tags left over from the project that I created, so I'm going to incorporate these into the project as well. So anyway, I just took the pages that I wanted to put into the booklet and I folded them in half. The papers are 8 by 8, just squirted it 4 and put them in half. Now this one here I put in the center because I really wanted to kind of really preserve this page right here with the hot chocolate. And then the outer page, it actually is supposed to be like this, but I did it sideways because I didn't want to put a seam or a fold right through the rolling pin. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is take one of these little square cut aparts, and I'm going to use that as part of like the cover decoration, cover the bow so you won't see like a sideways bow, and incorporate that into kind of the decoration of the front of this pamphlet. So anyway, super simple. I'm not putting any extra papers in it. I am going to add some pockets and things. Not sure if I'm going to do a closure or not yet, but you're going to see that after this particular part of the video. So what I wanted to show you is how I bound this. Now, I usually do a traditional kind of pamphlet stitch. This one here, I was gonna do a pamphlet stitch, and I was doing it different because I wanted the tails to come out the top and it wasn't working. So then I put another hole in here so that my tails would be at the top, and then that way if I wanted to tie some things on here, I totally could. And then when I open the book, they'll kind of hang out the top here. So like if I put beads or dangles or whatever I'm gonna decide to do. So what I ended up doing was I did the 3 punches like I normally did. So I did it at the 0 point, I did it at 3 1/2, which is a 1/2 inch from the top, and 3 1/2, which is a 1/2 inch from the bottom. But then when I decided that I really wanted to do this top thing, I added one more hole a 1/2 inch down. So how I ended up doing this was, if you look at this little diagram, and I hope that makes sense, here's where my hole placements actually went. So if you look at this, one's the center, this one is at 3 1/2, so there was a 1/2 inch, and then this one here at the top was 3 1/2, a 1/2 inch. So I put another one a 1/2 inch below that one. So you have the 0 point, 3, and then 3 1/2 up at the top. And I started my string, which is a waxed thread for bookbinding. I put it through the top hole from the outside. Okay, so if you imagine the book like this is how I'm showing you how to thread the things. So I put it on a needle and I went through the hole from the outside to the inside. In that second hole, I went through to the middle hole, and that was on the inside, through the back, and then from the outside I went into the bottom hole here, and then it came through the inside and again through the middle. Okay, so we went in here, so it comes out here, it goes through the middle, comes out through the middle, thread down through this part here, this bottom hole, it comes up and you go through the middle again. Okay, so it came out, and then I went through that second to the top hole again, and then back through the top hole, and then that left me my 2 strings in the outside here. And then I just tied a little knot, and my little pamphlet is bound. Okay, so then as you fold a bunch of papers together, you're going to have a little bit of extra piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my healing mat, and I'm going to make a lot of noise with my scoreboard while I'm at it. And I'm going to put that down. I'm going to grab a really heavy duty ruler here that I like to do with lots of thickness like this. And I'm going to grab my heavy Crafto knife, my big X-Acto knife. I'm going to lay this down. I just want to trim those edges up a little bit. It's just going to take off a minute little piece here, but I want to do it while my papers are folded because I want a nice straight edge. So I'm going to line these up on the edge of that outside paper, and then I'm going to push down. This ruler has a piece here that pushes down, and it kind of helps hold things and make sure that it doesn't slide. And then I'm just going to run my straight edge through there. So I'm applying a little bit of pressure with my knife. I'm applying quite a bit of pressure on my ruler so that things don't slip around. And then I'm just going to trim those off, and I'm going to make a couple passes. You're not going to do that in one pass. So just go through a couple papers at a time, and you'll end up trimming off these little bits, and then you'll end up, when you're done, with a nice straight edge for your pamphlet, so it looks like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate this, and then I will come back and I'll show you the final product. And again, it's going to be really simple. I'm going to use up my scraps and do something with this. I haven't quite decided again what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something pretty with this, and then I will be back and I'll show you what happened. Okay, I'm back, and I finished my little pamphlet that I made using what little leftovers I had from Santa's Little Helper, which is a Country Craft Creations exclusive paper collection. And I just want to show you this. I utilized the cover sheet, and this is pretty much all I have left. So I think I can safely say that I have busted this collection. But let me show you what I did. So I told you that I was going to figure out something for the dangle here with the string that I used to bind this book. So I just thread a couple beads through there, and then I tied this cute little candy charm to it. I figured that was really cute considering it was a baking collection. And I used gold and red beads from my stash, and I tied a little bow around it once I secured it with both of those ties. When I get done with this video, I am going to put glue on that knot just to kind of make sure that it doesn't come undone. Just a little dollop of art glitter glue on that knot, and that will hold it really securely when it dries. So that's what I did for the dangle. And then I made sure that I didn't put the beads all the way to the top. I wanted to make sure that when I opened my book, the beads kind of would be out of the way. So I did use this little square here to cover that bow that was sideways. It doesn't bother me that the rolling pin is sideways, but the bow being sideways did kind of bother me. So I did that. And I just wrapped some seam binding around that I had left over from my stash. And then I put one of the little tags on the back to help secure that. Then I just tied a simple bow. Let me show you what I did on the inside. It's really simple. And, you know, pretty much I tried to use what I had. I did use a couple stash items, obviously, but this piece here, I created just a simple pocket, just angled it, and then I had these really cute library cards, and I kind of strategically out of the scraps cut that and put that at the top of that, so that kind of tucks in there. You could put 3x5 recipe cards in here super simply. You could also put photos in here, just really cute. Here I used one of the pieces from the cover sheet, and I just made a little pennant there and just glued that down, but you could tuck something underneath that if you wanted to. Left this page blank. Turn the page. One of the scraps created this little pocket here. In the pocket, I used one of the tags and then one of the library cards that I had from my stash. And again, I just used a little piece of scrap paper for that. Turn the page. Got our little pup dogs. Left those blank. Here, I created another little pocket from a piece that I had. Oop, there's a scrap. And I used my envelope punch to just make a notch. This is the Santa's Little Helper. That's part of the cover sheet that I had not used in the previous project, but I still had it. And so then I also put 3 of the little tags on the inside there. Didn't put any twine or anything there yet. I don't know if I'm going to or not, but we'll see. Turn the page. There's the center of our book. I wanted to keep this in its entirety. You could put 2 smaller pictures on either side, but I really wanted to keep that whole page. And then we turn our book. Here I made a little hidden paper clip, and on the hidden paper clip on the front there's a little pocket here, and I just put 2 little bits. I put one of the little 2x2 cut aparts, and then I created a little tag out of one of the pieces from the cover page. Cut this out of a piece that was left over, and then over here underneath that paper clip are the tags, 2 tags that I popped in there. So that just goes like that. And you have this page here. Another little pennant piece that I made from the cover page, so you could tuck something underneath there. Here I used one of the strips that I had. I made a belly band, and then I put one of the 2x2 cut aparts here. Underneath it, I just got a paper bag that I had in my stash, and I just glued the bottom shut right here to create a little pocket, and then put a little piece of pattern paper over the bottom of that bag to cover that up. On the back, this little established in 1917, I put that there, and then I fussy cut one of the little gingerbread men out. You can see how tiny it is. So it was kind of fun to do. There's nothing in the paper bag, but you could put a secret, cookie recipe or something like that in there if you wanted to. Turn the page, and then here I created a pocket. I had one little strip, but it wasn't wide enough, so what I ended up doing was cut it in 2 pieces, and then did the angle cut, and then just glued them on 2 sides to create a little pocket like that. I thought that was kind of fun. And then you could still, if I grab another little piece, you could still tuck a little piece under there if you wanted to, and just have it just a little tiny piece. And then back here, I did another pocket just like I did the front, and another one of the library cards with that strategically cut out of my scraps and put in there. So you still have lots of room for photos. You have room for pictures. You can journal on the pages because some of the pages have nice blank spaces. You can journal on the tags, do all that stuff. But that's my cute little pamphlet project. I'm not sure what all to call it, but this is Santa's Little Helper pamphlet project. Let's just call it that. Santa's Little Helper pamphlet project. And this is, again, an exclusive collection from Country Craft Creations. And I just created a fun little project using what little I had left over. So thanks for watching. Grab your 8x8 papers and make a project for yourself. I will see you again soon with more stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.